ChatGPT can help you predict where a stock is headed next, and it only needs basic financial data to do it. You don't need charts, coding, or formulas. Just type in a company name, and it tells you if the stock might go up or down. But you can't just use the basic version of ChatGPT in any old prompts to get this done. I'm going to give you specific prompts designed for the GPT-4 model to look at public financial data, recent company news, valuation metrics, and more. Most people guess when to buy or sell stocks, but with this method, you get a breakdown that explains the numbers behind that guess. Let's start from the top. First, open ChatGPT. You'll need to be on the GPT-4 plan, which is part of ChatGPT Plus. It costs about $20 per month, which is absolutely worth it. Once you're inside, you can start by using this prompt. I've linked a doc with all the prompts in the description below, so save this video to come back to it. Let's say we want to analyze Apple Inc. or AAPL listed on NASDAQ. You just copy and paste the prompt from the doc, then fill in the company name and exchange, then hit enter. The AI will start by pulling in the latest financial data. It usually checks revenue growth first. It looks at how revenue has changed year over year and quarter over quarter. That means it compares sales from this year to last year and this quarter to the previous quarter. If sales are growing steadily, it's a good sign. Next, it checks profitability. This includes gross margin, operating margin, and net margin. Gross margin shows how much profit the company keeps after production costs. Operating margin includes other costs like salaries. Net margin is the final profit after everything, including taxes and interest. The tool also tracks earnings per share, or EPS. This is how much profit each share earns. If EPS is rising, it usually means that the company is doing well and may attract more investors. Then it looks at debt. The most important ratio here is debt to equity. This tells you how much the company owes compared to what it owns. A low ratio means the company isn't relying too much on borrowed money. ChatGPT will also look at the interest coverage ratio. That shows whether the company earns enough to pay interest on its loans. It also checks cash flow. This part is incredibly important. A company might look profitable on paper, but if it's not bringing in actual cash, that's a problem. The AI will point out trends in operating cash flow and free cash flow. These show whether the business is making real money and has the flexibility to invest or return money to shareholders. Once that's done, ChatGPT moves on to valuation. This is where it helps you understand whether the stock is cheap or expensive. The AI looks at the price to earnings ratio, the PE ratio, and compares it to other companies in the same industry. If a stock has a lower PE than its peers, it might be undervalued. It also shows the price to book ratio, or PB. That compares the stock price to the company's book value, which is its assets minus liabilities. Another key ratio is EV/EBITDA. That's enterprise value divided by earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. It gives you a sense of how the market values the company's cash flow. If the company pays a dividend, the AI also shows the dividend yield. That tells you how much you're earning in cash compared to the price you paid for the stock. For example, if you buy a stock for $1,000 and it pays $40 a year, your yield is 4%. After that, it gives a growth outlook. It checks how fast the sector is growing, how much market share the company has, and whether it's investing in new areas. If the company is spending on research and development, that usually means it's trying to grow over time. The AI also checks management. It looks at the CEO's track record and whether the leadership team has a history of making smart decisions. This part usually includes recent quotes from earnings calls or interviews. Then it analyzes risk. ChatGPT breaks this into 3 parts: market risk, operational risk, and financial risk. Market risk includes things like inflation, interest rates, and geopolitical events. Operational risk might include supply chain problems, labor shortages, or lawsuits. Financial risk focuses on liquidity, whether the company has enough cash to survive a tough quarter. Next, ChatGPT checks for recent news and upcoming events. It pulls in the latest earnings report and tells you whether the company beat or missed expectations. It also checks for any mergers or acquisitions and whether those deals could help or hurt the business. It looks at regulatory changes, especially for industries like finance, tech, or energy. It also tracks major product launches or expansions that could affect revenue. Then the AI wraps up the report. It gives a bullish case why the stock might go up, and a bearish case, why it might drop. Finally, it explains whether this is a short-term opportunity or a long-term play. You can stop here, take this information, and run with it yourself. But there's a second prompt that helps put everything in context. If you were Warren Buffett, would you invest in this stock? Justify your decision. This is where the AI changes its lens. It now analyzes the company like a value investor. It looks for simple business models, steady earnings, and low debt. It checks if the stock price is reasonable and whether the company has a strong moat, meaning a lasting competitive advantage. This is useful if you're trying to build a long-term portfolio and want to avoid hype-driven stocks. Now let's go beyond fundamentals. You can upload a stock chart, for example, a daily candlestick chart from TradingView, and ask, carry out a technical analysis for AAPL and identify the chart pattern that it has formed. What might happen next? ChatGPT will scan for common patterns. It might say the stock is forming a flag, a wedge, or breaking support. It gives a forecast. Not exact numbers, but a direction like bullish breakout possible if volume stays high. This is helpful for confirming trends without deep chart knowledge. Then there's sentiment analysis. This tells you how people in the news are reacting to the stock. Start with, what is the latest news about AAPL? Replace Apple with your chosen stock. Then follow up with, conduct a sentiment analysis based on this news and provide valid reasons for the sentiment classification, positive, negative, or neutral. The AI will sort the updates into good news and bad news. Then it gives a final rating, positive, neutral, or negative. This helps explain sudden price changes that don't match the financials. To stay on top of your research, here are some prompts that I've found useful. First is, give me the latest US stock market news in clear bullet points. The second is, give me the latest news about AAPL in clear bullet points. And third is, every weekday at 9:05 a.m., give me a concise, accurate executive summary of the latest stock market news for AAPL. Only report if there's something new. If there is no news, do not send any notifications. This way, you stay updated without having to check every day. If there's no news, it stays silent. Lastly, if you want to find good value stocks before others do, try this prompt. ChatGPT will give a list of companies that match those filters. It also explains why each one qualifies. You'll see if a stock is trading below industry average, has better margins, or shows strong cash flow. By asking ChatGPT to check forums and discussions, you'll see where retail investors are focusing and which companies might be under the radar. So what do you get with all this? You get an easy way to check a stock's health, growth potential, and risk without spreadsheets or jargon. You get answers in minutes with sources you can double check. You get a repeatable process so every stock is reviewed the same way. Does it replace full analysis number? But it helps you move faster, learn more, and avoid bad guesses. That's a big step forward for retail investors. What is your research process at the moment? And will you be trying out ChatGPT to speed it up? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.